Is Mr. Palmer from Alabama for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Newsham, what are the 1,000 Talents program and other similar programs rebranded under different names?
Sir, I'll address the 1,000 Talents program. Basically, the Chinese Communist Party looks overseas for people who have technology, information that it wants, particularly technology that it can use to build up its own economy, its military, and it gets them on the payroll. And they do it everywhere. And there's obviously a well-known case of a Harvard professor who got signed up for it and made a lot of money. He got caught, got punished, but he was just the tip of the iceberg.
So, despite the name, which would indicate that, you know, they're trying to promote the development of intellectual capabilities among people, that type of thing, what it really is a spy buying program.
That's really all it is. They're buying technology, as I said, that is going to be used to dominate us or kill Americans if a fight comes.
Right. And how are these programs linked to the Chinese Communist Party?
Well, they're run directly by the Chinese Communist Party. This is not an independent operation going. It is Chinese government.
Can you repeat the goal of these type programs? The goal, repeat. You commented on the goal of these programs. Can you repeat that with emphasis? Because the American people and my colleagues need to understand what's at stake here.
It very much is to build up the Chinese economy, and there's no distinction between the Chinese economy and its military, and the objective is to dominate us economically and militarily, and if necessary, to beat us on the battlefield if the time should come, if it's even necessary.
So what can federal agencies do to protect American data technology, intellectual property from the Chinese Communist Party from stealing it?
Well, you're going to have to first admit you've got a problem. We spent decades thinking that this was all innocuous, it was harmless. The Chinese were just like us. One thing you can do is to stop letting Chinese researchers into American laboratories. We had huge problems at Los Alamos, for example. You look at seems like every university laboratory that comes up with some new discovery, there's always Chinese researchers in there. You do not want to do anything that is going to help the country that is trying to kill you. And that is one thing you do. Don't let these people in. And there's obviously the basic infrastructure sort of protections you need. But we have just opened the doors and unfortunately let in people who wish us ill. And I just would say, read the Chinese press for a week if you want to get some idea of what they think of us.
Technology for our power grid, our military. I mean, we're very dependent on China supply chain for key components that our military has to have. And I keep trying to warn people about this, and we've got colleagues in Congress who refuse to allow mining, refuse to allow the development of processing and refinery facilities to mine and refine what we need from critical minerals and rare earth elements, which make us dependent on China for those things. We brag about funding manufacturing plants to make semiconductors and microchips, and we don't make anything. We assemble them from parts we get from China. So, and it's not just that. Could you comment on us allowing China to buy farmland and the agricultural research theft that is taking place?
Yes, sir. An important point of that is actually it goes beyond just growing crops and shipping them off to China, but rather seed technology. It's a key advantage for U.S. companies, for the United States, and it can also be used as offensive platforms as well. Don't be surprised at some point in the future if our farmers have put seeds in the ground and they're sterile. There's more to it, as I said, than just them the Chinese wanting to guarantee their food imports.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a comment about where we're heading with this hearing. And with all due respect to my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, this is not about Donald Trump. This is very serious. If you want to make it about that, we can make it about that. But for crying out loud, for one time, Let's put the national security interest of this country ahead of our political interest. And I understand that you can make a point, but so can we. We've got all kinds of evidence. But I think this is one time that we should stick to national security, because this is serious, serious business. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.